Time again for Let's Play Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm Subponicate Poster, and joining me today is a magnificent hangover. In our last episode, we met the main antagonist, completely destroyed Haven, and fell in a hole. So now we're going to try and get out. This part of the game is a bit annoying. We can't go very fast. Right here, it's holding you to this walk. And at best, you can do this jog. You can't run at full speed, which makes sense thematically, but from a gameplay perspective, it's mostly just a pain in the ass. Like here, we do this shuffling walk, and then we're fine and can start running again, but it's not really a lot of fun.
There. Who's there?
And here we get a new ability. This doesn't cost anything, it doesn't cost you a point, and you're leveling up, but it's called Mark of the Rift. This is a focus-based ability. Focus is sort of like limit breaks in Final Fantasy. So as you and your team do damage to other enemies, that meter on the outside of our power circle will build. And Mark of the Rift is an AoE, and it's a pretty good power. It can do a shitload of damage. There are perks available from Colin that will build your focus meter, so you can have up to 3 levels. We've only got 1 right now. But it will do a handy job on pretty much everything. Obviously, very large enemies or bosses it won't kill outright, but it can certainly take a big chunk off their health. So, and every person in your party will have their own particular focus-based ability depending on their specialization, and some of them are excellent. And now we're outside and basically just following the leavings and wreckage of where everyone from Haven took off through the mountain. Follow the marker on your compass, you can't really get lost. But this sort of artificially padded gameplay again, it's not really a whole lot of fun to play through. I would have preferred it if they just did, say, a cutscene and saved us 3 or 4 minutes of traipsing through a snowstorm. Oh good, a pot of soup.
It's cold.
Damn it, no soup. And the only reason I didn't cut this entirely is I figured that if I had to suffer through it, so did you.
Embers. Recent?
Well, at least that's progress. Oh, are those lights up ahead? Is this section almost over? Thank God.
Thank the Maker!
What would you have me tell them? This isn't what we asked them to do.
We cannot simply ignore this. We must find a way.
And who put you in charge? We need a consensus or we have nothing.
Please, we must use reason. Without the infrastructure...
Sounds like our friends are not getting along too well right now.
She didn't say it could.
Enough! This is getting us nowhere.
Well, we're agreed on that much.
Shh. You need rest. They've been at it for hours. They have that luxury thanks to you. The enemy could not follow, and with time to doubt, we turn to blame. Infighting may threaten as much as this Corypheus.
Oh yeah, that dude.
Do we know where Corypheus and his forces are? We are not sure where we are, which may be why, despite the numbers he still commands, there is no sign of him. That, or you are believed dead. Or without Haven, we are thought helpless. Or he girds for another attack.
Well, as long as we're
I cannot
sure.
claim to know the mind of that creature, only his effect on us.
Options here.
If they're arguing about what we do next, I need to be there. Another heated voice won't help. Even yours. Perhaps especially yours. Our leaders struggle because of what we survivors witnessed. We saw our defenders stand and fall.
The only falling that I did was into a hole.
Return. The more the enemy is beyond us, the more miraculous your actions appear, and the more our trials seem ordained.
Fabulous.
That is hard to accept, no? What we have been called to endure. What we perhaps must come to believe. I escaped the avalanche. Barely, perhaps, but I didn't die. Of course, and the dead cannot return from across the veil. But the people know what they saw. Or perhaps what they needed to see. The Maker works both in the moment and in how it is remembered. Can we truly know the heavens are not with us?
Just what I needed.
You saw Corypheus. What do you think of his claims of assaulting the heavens? Scripture says magisters, to winter servants of false-souled gods, entered the Fade to reach the Golden City, seat of the Maker. For their crime, they were cast out as darkspawn. Their hubris is why we suffer blight, and why the Maker turned from us. If such is the claim of this Corypheus, he is a monster beyond imagining. All mankind continues to suffer for that sin. If even a shred of it is true, all the more reason Andraste would choose someone to rise against him. Corypheus said he found only corruption and emptiness, nothing golden. If he entered that place, it has changed him without and within. The living are not meant to make that journey. Perhaps these are lies he must tell himself, rather than accept that he earned the scorn of the Maker. I know I could not bear such.
For those doing religious playthroughs, but not butts.
All of this happened because of fanatics and arguments about the next world. It's time we start believing in this one.
And now it's time for the musical portion of our program. Please turn to page 32 in your hymnals.
Shadows fall and hope has fled. Still your heart, the dawn will come. The night is long and the path is dark. Look to the sky, for one day soon the dawn will come. The shepherd's lost and his home is far. Keep to the stars, the dawn will one world, Herald. All that changes is our place in it.
A word.
Now, if you're playing as something other than an elf, you'll get this conversation, and it's pretty similar, but there are a few differences.
The humans have not raised one of our people so high for ages beyond counting. Her faith is hard-won, Lethaline. Worthy of pride, save one detail.
The threat Corypheus wields. The orb he carried. It is ours. Corypheus used the orb to open the breach. Unlocking it must have caused the explosion that destroyed the Conclave. We must find out how he survived. And we must prepare for their reaction when they learn the orb is of our people.
Spill it.
All right. What is it and how do you know about it?
Such things were foci, said to channel power from our gods. Some were dedicated to specific members of our pantheon. All that remains are references in ruins, and faint visions of memory in the Fade, echoes of a dead empire. But however Corypheus came to it, the orb is Elven, and with it, he threatens the heart of human faith.
All of the nice options, but elves always get fucked, so...
Even if we defeat Corypheus, eventually they'll find a way to blame elves.
I suspect you are correct. It is unfortunate, but we must be above suspicion to be seen as valued allies. Faith in you is shaping this moment, but needs room to grow. By attacking the Inquisition, Corypheus has changed it. Changed you. Scout to the north. Be their guide. There is a place that waits for a force to hold it. There is a place where the Inquisition can build, grow.
Had a recording problem here and had to do some editing.
They arrive daily from every settlement in the region. Skyhold is becoming a pilgrimage. If word has reached these people, it will have reached the Elder One. We have the walls and numbers to put up a fight here, but this threat is far beyond the war we anticipated. But we now know what allowed you to stand against Corypheus, what drew him to you.
Because I'm a badass.
He came after me because my efforts put the Inquisition in his way.
Perhaps in more ways than you've considered. Your decisions let us heal the sky. Your determination brought us out of Haven. You are the creature's rival because of what you did. And we know it. All of us. The Inquisition requires a leader. The one who has already been leading it.
Oh dear.
You.
No. No. Bad idea.
You're offering this to an elf? Are you quite sure you know what you're doing?
I would be terrified handing this power to anyone, but I believe it is the only way. They'll follow you. To them, being an elf shows how far you've risen, how it must have been by Andraste's hand. What it means to you, how you lead us, that is for you alone to determine.
Pretty badass sword. Unfortunately, we don't really get to use it. Even if you're a warrior, it's not like you get to take it out with you. That will piss off everybody, but it's funny. And we'll go elfie.
I will lead us against Corypheus.
If you're anything but a human, you'll get that option with your own particular racial indicator.
Wherever you lead us. Have our people been told?
They have. And soon, the world.
Commander, will they follow?
Inquisition, will you follow? Will you fight? Will we triumph? Your leader, your herald, your Inquisitor!
Fuck it.
So this is where it begins.
It's a bit of a disaster for now, but we'll get it cleaned up.
It began in the courtyard. This is where we turned that promise into action.
But what do we do? We know nothing about this Corypheus except that he wanted your mark.
Corypheus wants to restore Tevinter. Is this a prelude to war with the Imperium?
I get the feeling we're dealing with extremists, not the vanguard of a true invasion.
Tevinter is not the Imperium of 1,000 years ago. What Corypheus yearns to restore no longer exists. Though they would shed no tears if the South fell to chaos, I'm certain.
Corypheus said he wanted to enter the Black City, that this would make him a god.
He is willing to tear this world apart to reach the next. It won't matter if he's wrong.
What if he's not wrong? If he finds some other way into the Fade?
Then
he
we're
gains the
fucked.
power he seeks, or unleashes catastrophe on us all.
Could his dragon really be an archdemon? What would that mean?
It would mean the beginning of another blight.
We've seen no darkspawn other than Corypheus himself. Perhaps it's not an archdemon at all, but something different?
Whatever it is, it's dangerous. Commanding such a creature gives Corypheus an advantage we can't ignore.
Well, let's not just go blundering off, shall we?
Someone out there must know something about Corypheus.
Unless they saw him on the field, most will not believe he even exists.
We do have one advantage. We know what Corypheus intends to do next. In that strange future you experienced, Empress Selene had been assassinated.
Imagine the chaos her death would cause. With his army.
An army he'll bolster with a massive force of demons, or so the future tells us.
Corypheus could conquer the entire south of Thedas, god or no god.
I'd feel better if we knew more about what we were dealing with.
I know someone who can help with that. Everyone acting all inspirational jogged my memory, so I sent a message to an old friend. She's crossed paths with Corypheus before and may know more about what he's doing. She can help.
I wonder who that could be.
I'm always looking for new allies. Introduce me.
Parading around might cause a fuss. It's better for you to meet privately, on the battlements. Trust me, it's complicated.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Let's Play Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm Subponeget Poster. Join us next time, where we get to explore Skyhold.
Cassandra is going to kill him.